I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Tristan Knell. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful, my time night?
Yeah, it's in Sydney. It's lunchtime, man. So yeah, it's actually a little bit overcast, a bit cold here today. It's actually interesting.
How intriguing. But it's the summertime, right?
It is the summertime. Usually it's, high 20s, kind of 30 degrees, but today it's like low 20s, so it's a little bit different.
All right. Well, Tristan, please do tell us which of your talents that you've been functioning in is responsible for us connecting at this moment in time.
I would say probably podcasting. I've got two podcasts. One's the Vision Board podcast, where I interview a lot of, high profile people from around the world across sports, across, authors, business, and also wellness. And then I've also got my other podcast, which is Talking with TK, which is a sports-based podcast based on Australian and New Zealand athletes from where I'm from, just telling their stories. And then at the end of the week, I also have like a preview show where I get 3 or 4 shorter interviews, just previewing either fights or matches, just things that are happening in either Australia or New Zealand over the weekend.
You're definitely a scheduled guy, right?
Oh, yeah, that's part of getting good at that is, definitely knowing how to manage your time, and scheduling is two just massive things that you have to get good at really quickly.
Yeah. Is it something that you struggled with before, or is it something that, hey, this was all you in terms of the order and the time?
I'd say it's probably always been one of my strengths, because my normal job, I'm a stockbroker, so you have to be pretty efficient with your time as well. So ever since I've kind of got into that, the ability to be able to plan my day and, not only just connect, but be able to make it easy for people as well in terms of their time and my time and just fitting it all in. That's just been a natural strength for me. So it's been something I've been able to kind of rely on and help me build all my businesses and also my podcast forward.
So who did you learn that skill from, that skill of organization?
I think it's just come naturally. My parents have always been pretty good at it. So for me, it's just like watching them do it. I think it's just rubbed off on me pretty well. But yeah, like I said, this just comes naturally to me, and just organizing, and I actually like it. So when you like something, it's easy.
Yeah, it is. The challenge is like the people you have to organize around, right? Especially when they aren't time cops, if you would.
Oh, it can be frustrating too when people aren't on the same level, but you just gotta realize that not everyone's strength is organization or being able to schedule themselves right. So sometimes you just gotta kind of just make a bit of leeway for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. That being said, and you being the guy that is definitely going to keep moving on, why will you continue in spite of the challenges, in spite of the others that may not have the same strengths as you?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just my way of developing my skills every day. And I love connecting with people and making new contacts, and just even reestablishing old contacts. And I think it's very important I like to help first before asking for any help. So for me, if it means that I can help organize their day a little bit better, well, so be it. It's a pretty easy thing for me to do. But in terms of podcasting, I think it's just really just helped me, not only learn a new skill in terms of putting together a show and also learning the art of interviewing someone, but it's just like I said, I think for me, relationships are key. So to be able to connect with people and then continue to build a relationship, even for me, like, because I've got a lot of sports people on my show, a lot of the people that come on are people that I idolized when I was growing up. So to have the ability to chat with them, it's just one of those things that it just kind of makes you happy. So that's why I'd continue to do it, because it just makes me happy, man.
Love it. Well, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Yeah, well, for the podcast, one of the podcasts is going on 2 years. So I think you got to consistently be bringing out, if you bring out something on a Monday, just make sure every Monday it's going to be there. So the long form stuff, we're up to episode 175 of one of the podcasts.
Congratulations.
And that's like, yeah, thank you. And that's an hour show each one. So it's quite a bit of time and effort preparing for it, doing it, cutting all the episodes, editing it. So that's a huge thing. The other podcast is up to episode 40. So, I've done over 200 episodes, and that's the same thing. I think you've just got to be consistently producing. If you say you're going to bring something out on a Monday, just make sure that every Monday it's there, because
Yeah.
people are expecting you to actually bring something. So, yeah, that would be the best advice, that if you promise something on a Monday, just make sure that it's there.
How does it make you feel being the person that is creating the content, packaging it, and delivering it on time?
Yeah, well, 5 years ago, I never thought I would have the skills that I have today. So it's kind of every week you learn something new a little bit. You try to improve your podcast, whether it's in sound or just the questions that you ask, or, it just makes you feel good that you've developed the skills. And then from time to time, you'll get a message out of the blue saying that someone loves your podcast. And it just makes you feel good that there are people out there that, you're doing this. For me, I'm doing it to help others and help people solve problems. So for people to get something out of it, I think that's where I get my most joy out of it.
Now, where's the best place for someone to connect with you, Tristan, and all that you do?
Yeah, Facebook, it's Tristan Knell, spelt K''Nell. The podcast, the Vision Board Podcast, and Talking with TK, they're both on iTunes, or you can check out their websites, www.thevisionboardpodcast.com or www.talkingwithtk.com.
Suggest to someone out there that's listening that may be where you've been or where you were 5 years ago to where you are now, and just suggest to them why they could do what you've done.
I think it's just one of those things. It's 5 years is just time. So I think you just got to do something every day to get you a little bit forward. So instead of watching TV, you could be out there maybe pitching someone to come on your show. So if you want to be a podcaster, for example, or I think we spent way too much time just on silly things like watching TV and all that sort of stuff, when we could be doing things to help us progress. So my best advice is to be patient and just do something every day, because if you do something every day, after 5 years, you're going to be building something pretty strong.
Amazing audience, you heard it here. We are live with Tristan Knell. Definitely check him out. 3 podcasts, technically, this guy is doing from 0 to 3, right? How amazing is that? Well, hey Tristan, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Tristan, what is your earliest...
Sounds amazing.
It is. What is your earliest childhood memory?
Probably playing soccer as a child. My parents are from Mauritius, so they love soccer over there. So my dad used to play with all his brothers and all my uncles and things like that. So I played because he played, and probably my earliest childhood memory is just playing with my friends in a game of soccer. I probably would have been like 7 or 8 years old, but I used to love soccer and I love sports. So that's probably why I've got a podcast now. Devoted to sports.
Yeah, it's pretty intriguing. So why do you think this memory of all your memories really stick out, though?
For this memory, like I said, I think it's just a connection with family and just connection with my actual background. Like I said, I'm Mauritian, so Mauritius, they have a big soccer culture over there. And like I said, I think I went to a wedding last night and I spoke to my uncle probably for an hour about soccer. So it's one of those things. I think it's always just been connected into our family. I love the game, and yeah, when I think back to my childhood, that's my exciting moments, playing soccer, man.
Yeah, that's intriguing. Well, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yeah, man.
I love the idea of how you have strategically placed things in your life to increase communication, if you would. So football, definitely that. You grew up. I'm not sure how much you still do play football, but definitely the commentating on football, that's there now. And it's like you're placing strategic things to ensure that you are having the communication and or the self-reflection that's necessary to take you to the next level. Yep. And that is fascinating.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? It's funny how things connect when you become older as an adult to things that you intrigued you as a child. So for me, yeah, I love commentating and analyzing soccer games. So yeah, I think you're spot on, man.
Yeah, you are welcome. So if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Ooh, my favorite song when I was 12. You know what? I've never really been a huge sort of song or music person, but I used to always watch Rocky. So probably Eye of the Tiger. I used to watch Rocky 3 over and over again. So I used to love all the soundtracks from Rocky. So probably that, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It definitely connects, right? Because you are a champion, right?
Yeah, you could say that. I hope so, bro.
Love it. Well, my friend, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. We're going to go pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Tristan?
Yeah, go.
Tristan, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Well, people always ask from time to time advice on different things. So I'm always open and honest when anyone comes for me for advice on podcasting or anything like that. So yeah, I'm always open for that, man.
Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
Do you have children?
No children, or not that I know of.
Okay. Do you believe in God?
You know, I believe there is something higher. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, possibly. I'm open to it. I hope there is.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yeah, of course.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
I love sports, so yeah.
Yeah. What about screen time? The phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Well, unfortunately, it has to be more than 8 because my regular job as a stockbroker, the market's open from 10 to 4, so we're on the desk all day. So I would say probably more.
All right. Tristan, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months, I came up with this workbook. The name of it is called Yours. It stands for Your Own Unique Real Self. And my idea is you answer these questions, and as you answer the questions, you uncover what connects your own unique real statement, your mission. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Tristan Knell, what would you say that is?
I would say a big thing I learned from a friend of mine, Joe DeFranco, was to not only, a lot of people under promise and then over deliver, but for me, I like to over promise and then over deliver on that. So the expectations and the kind of the environment and what you produce for someone else, it's just more and more. So that sort of connection that you make with them, you don't have to under promise and then over deliver. To over deliver and then over promise and then over deliver, you just create an environment and they just love it. So if you're going to be providing a product, even your podcast, it just creates just something in their own expectations that is way above and beyond what they thought they were going to get, and that just makes them feel good. And that's something I always like, making people feel good, man.
Over promise and over deliver. Interesting. Love it. Hey, Tristan, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I think what you're doing is great as well. You're going to be having amazing conversations with everyone from around the world. So I think everyone should get behind what you're doing as well. And I think if everyone supports each other, that's the best way for things to grow. And I think more information that can be shared with everyone, it just makes people grow more better. So I think whoever's listening to this today, share it with your family and friends who you think would, find something good out of this as well. Because I think if we all grow together, we'll have a better world. So I would say that.
Love it. Tristan, hey, this was a great pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Angel, thank you so much for having me, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.